Only half of those scheduled to speak at this press conference got the chance to, as tensions began to rise in the crowd. Those for the police accountability bill and those against both stood on the sidewalks adjacent to one another, began shouting, and that quickly drowned out anybody who was on the podium.
Our view is this bill should not pass. It was not thoughtful. It was not researched.
You can hear the chants from counter-protesters begin to overpower the speakers on the steps of the Fairfield Police Department. The afternoon press conference held by Fairfield Police in conjunction with neighboring departments and local legislators was in opposition of the police accountability bill that recently passed the House.
We can do better. We can do better for the police, but we do need true police reform.
The debate over qualified immunity is what brought out people on both sides of the topic. Protesters in support of HB 6004 protested across the street, shouting for police accountability. Their voices overpowered speakers, leading to the abrupt conclusion.
Now I can't even hear my first selectman talk because of this.
I don't care about color. I don't care about religion. I don't care about life statuses. What we want is for the police department in every city and state to be accountable for their actions.
State lawmakers in attendance and officers asked for the legislator to slow down and further discuss, while the governor says no one is losing qualified immunity.
The qualified immunity here in Connecticut now matches what they're doing at the federal government.
Chief Chris Liddy of Fairfield Police says it will open up municipalities to far more litigation that has the ability to hurt quality police recruitment.
How many people are going to gravitate to this profession? It's going to lower the standards and have the opposite effect of what we're all trying to achieve.
State senators have 4 bills on the agenda to be talked about on Tuesday, one of those being the police accountability bill. Though Senate Republicans say there's going to be quite an uphill battle with Democrats in order to have any part of that bill changed. In Fairfield, Dave Puglisi, Fox 61 News.